this. I'm not sure how this is going to come out, but I wanted to talk about my privilege real quick as a individual here in America. And I'm going to start this. I'm going to be as quick as possible so I can, because we all have limited attention spans. I was born in San Francisco. Grew up in a poor neighborhood, mostly African Americans and Hispanics, and broken home, welfare, and parents split up. Mom got an abusive boyfriend who abused me and my sisters, and I ended up moving to Florida to stay with my dad, who moved there. My dad lived in Palm Beach Gardens, which was kind of a suburb of West Palm Beach. It's where all kind of the, it's a very poor community. And West Palm Beach is a place where, like, Jeffrey Epstein had a house. These are billionaires, millionaires have this island, and all the people who work in the service industry live in Palm Beach Gardens. My dad was a waiter. In our kind of project community was, poor whites, poor blacks, and poor Hispanics. The schools I went to were poorly funded, and I'm in Palm Beach Gardens, and by the time I'm 10 years old, I get labeled a anti-authoritative personality by the state, and this came out years later. For one instance, it was for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, but it really had to do with the labeling poor whites in general, not just poor whites, but troubled youth after Columbine happened. So that some states started building profiles on troubled youth, and I was one of them. And this actually really affected me throughout my entire education system, being harassed by the state pretty much. I had cops come out to the house multiple times, searching my room for bomb-making materials throughout my public school experience. And, obviously kids caught on. I couldn't wear a backpack into class in high school and 8th grade and stuff like that. And so all these things are happening to me, from poor neighborhoods, and what do I want to say? I was privileged, though. I have this privilege that I had great mentorship. Even I had all these trouble things, systemic problems, the state harassing me and my family. I had great mentorship. I had great teachers, saw what was happening and tell me, just persevere. You're a smart kid. I know you're smart. You're a good kid. My godparents were a great influence. They made sure I knew how to read and knew how to write and capable of critical thinking. As in my early adolescence and my preteens and early teenage years, really gave me a lot of tools to help me thrive as I got older. And so I had great mentorship. That's where really my privilege came from. By the time I was in 10th grade, the school district told me they kind of wanted me out of there, and they said I had a meeting with a psychologist, a sociologist from the Jefferson County in San Francisco. Said to me that I would do better in a college setting, and she talked to me for about 10 minutes, and she just turned her head and she pulled out the file they had on me, and this is where I found out about the fact that I had a profile built from about I think it was from 5th grade. They built this profile around me of here's a troubled youth, we got to keep eyes on him. And she suggested I get my take the high school exit exam and get the CHESAP, which is sort of like a GED thing, and go into junior college when I was 16. And that happened. I went to junior college when I was 16. I didn't necessarily do well because the home life was so bad, and I ended up moving out of the house when I was 17, 18. Got a job at a grocery store, worked at the grocery store for 3 years, met a girl, did the girl thing, still going to school, in and out of school that whole time. moved up to Seattle for an opportunity. That opportunity ceased to exist once I got here. And then I ended up working at another grocery store. But in that time, I got involved with jiu-jitsu. And in jiu-jitsu, I found more mentors. I found purpose in life. And, helped me organize my life and give meaning to it. And, through jiu-jitsu, I met a good friend of mine who helped mentor me into becoming more financially independent through learning a trade. And now I'm a tradesman. Now I work for myself. And, so that's my privilege had to do not necessarily with the color of my skin, but with the fact that I had great mentorship. And if we want to change the world and for the better, what is required is great mentorship. We need to go and educate people, but not just educate them, but give them the tools and the words and the ability to comprehend the reality and to make their own decisions for them. Give them the ability to stand on their own 2 feet, and the world will follow suit. So mentorship, that was my privilege, was mentorship. Coming from a poor family, broken home, poor neighborhoods, bad schools, systemic oppression by the system itself, and I'm doing good. I have good relationships with my friends, family. I have great mentors, and I'm very hopeful for the future. And period. What else? Oh yeah. So, not the video denouncing my white privilege that one would expect, but to be fair, my privilege had to do with the fact I was born with. I'm a relatively intelligent person, and I'm over here gonna paint a black man's house, and there you go.